I'm using a round board that I got from Dollar Tree. I will be using the back side of it. To get that sticker off, I am just using some nail polish remover. I'm just applying that on, and then I'm using a metal scraper tool, also from Dollar Tree, and that just came off with ease. You want to go ahead and allow that to completely dry. And then I got this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. You want to put a generous amount of Mod Podge onto the back of the board. Go ahead and use a paintbrush to spread that out evenly. Make sure you pay close attention to the edges of the circle. And before that dries, go ahead and place that scrapbook paper on top. Smooth it out with your fingers to make sure there are no air bubbles. And I like to use a Dollar Tree sanding block to take off that excess along the edges. Just sand the edges until that paper will eventually just fall right off, leaving you with a nice smooth finish. And then go ahead and apply another layer of Mod Podge on top to help seal and protect that scrapbook paper. Next, I'm using 2 of these very used paintbrushes. And I got this scrapbook paper. One came from a scrapbook from a thrift store, and the other buffalo check one came from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just tracing the handle of each of the paintbrushes onto the back of the scrapbook paper. Go ahead and cut that tracing right out. Then go ahead and apply some of that Mod Podge on the handle of both of the paintbrushes. Place that scrapbook paper right on top. Again, smooth it out with your fingers to make sure that there are no air bubbles. And once that Mod Podge was dry, using that same sanding block method just to sand off any excess that you may have. And again, this leaves you with a nice smooth finish. And once those are sanded smooth, go ahead and apply another layer of Mod Podge on both of those paintbrushes just to seal and protect that scrapbook paper. Next up, I got these button plugs from Amazon, but I believe you could also get them from Home Depot. I'm just hot gluing those at the top of the hairs of the paintbrush. I then am using some faux fur. You could find this from any craft store or Hobby Lobby. When using this fur, you want to make sure that you use a box cutter and you want the fur face down, and then go ahead and just use that box cutter and cut it down to size. And I'm using this to create the fur for the gnome's hat. So I just used some hot glue and just attached that faux fur right above that wooden button. I then am just attaching some greenery and small pine cones and berries to the top corners of both of the gnomes. I then used my Cricut machine to cut out this stencil. It says Gnome for the holidays. I'm just finding a good placement for it on that circular board, smoothing it down, making sure that that vinyl is completely adhered. Once I have that down, I just peeled off the transfer tape and then go over it one more time with my hand just to make sure that that vinyl is completely down. And then next, I am finding a good placement for those paintbrush gnomes. Once I found that placement, I'm using some of this adhesive glue you could get from Dollar Tree. It's a great substitute for E6000 with a mixture of hot glue and just placing those gnomes right on the board. And this is just coming out so cute. And then I created this fluffy bow using my Easy Bow Maker. Again, using that adhesive glue with hot glue and placing that right at the top of the sign. And there you go, guys. This was so fun to create and so simple. I hope it inspires you to create your own in your own special way. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.